In the heart of Europe is a city steeped in history, culture, and elegance. With its stunning architecture, world-class museums, and vibrant music scene, it has something special for everyone. Throughout this video, we discover one flamboyant city which culture and richness surprised me positively. No wonder that the city owns two important palaces which served as seat for the famous European dynasty, the Habsburgs. Join us today to learn more about the city that played an important role in classical music development. This is Vienna, the Austrian capital city. First things first, just like any other major European city, the transport system is well developed. I suggest you buy a 24, 48 or 72 hours pass to get full access to the metro lines, buses and trams. If you're feeling a little touristic, you can go for the horse carriage. Their sight though made my heart ache, and frankly 60 euros for an hour tour is just too much. Less talking, let's start visiting the city's monuments. I came across this empty church dedicated to Saint Othmar among the Tanners. To be honest, I never heard of this saint, so if you have any information, please drop them in the comments below. This luxurious street seemed like the city's busiest artery, but I was so wrong. Vienna's iconic astronomical clock is renowned for its intricate design and different functions like displaying the position of the sun, moon and stars in the sky, the 12 signs of the zodiac, and at each hour a historical person indicates the time on top of his head. At noon a full défilé is held. This fountain is particularly popular with newlyweds, as the tradition is for couples to throw a coin into the fountain and make a wish for a long and happy marriage. You realize as we move forward that the city is full of churches and cathedrals. If you stick around, you'll learn why later on. The name Maria at the Shire is particularly fitting for this Viennese church because of its historical location. Originally, the church was situated on the bank of a branch of the Danube River. Now, this next monument blew my mind away. The Plague Monument commemorates the end of a major plague epidemic that swept through the city in the 17th century. Looking at this church from the outside, I wasn't really enchanted, but once inside, just wow. St. Peter's is a beautiful 18th century church known for its sophisticated Baroque architecture and artwork. Just imagine hearing some classical music in here. The most prominently religious building would be this one. The National Cathedral of Austria is located in the center of Vienna on Stephansplatz. Built in Gothic style, it has Romanesque elements incorporated. The interior of the cathedral is decorated with beautiful frescoes and stained glass windows. The cathedral is also home to the Pommern, the largest bell in Austria. If you have time on a Sunday, you can attend Mass. The choral, all along with the organ, made us feel like we're in heaven. I've dreamed of visiting this palace ever since meeting Elisa. The Schönbrunn Palace is much more than a simple residence. It is a living testimony of Austrian Imperial history. A Baroque architecture masterpiece and one of the most visited tourist sites in Vienna. No wonder it made it to the UNESCO World Heritage List. Therefore, I do recommend coming here in the morning. You might also consider getting the CC ticket to visit another two important museums like the CC and Furniture Museums. The visit starts at the guard room, who quickly announced news to the emperor. Initially built as a hunting lodge in the 17th century, Schönbrunn became the summer residence of the Habsburg under the reign of Maria Theresa of Austria. The palace was enlarged and embellished, becoming a symbol of the power and grandeur of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This covered the private apartments of Emperor Franz Joseph and Empress Elizabeth, as well as the official reception rooms. This gallery reminded me of La Galerie des Glaces in Versailles. Look how beautiful these chandeliers and frescoes are. This room is dedicated to Francis I of Austria, who was a husband of Maria Therese. When you know that they had 16 children together, you'll understand why she went into depression after his death. Before visiting the Imperial Gardens, we had to have breakfast. Many options are available inside the palace premises. The Schönbrunn Gardens are just as impressive as the palace itself. These French-style gardens, designed by the famous French landscape architect André Lenôtre, offer a peaceful stroll through flower beds, fountains, and sculptures. Take a moment to enjoy the different fountains, especially the one dedicated to Neptune, before climbing the hill behind it to reach the Gloriette, which offers a panoramic view of the palace and Vienna. Let's head to the winter residence called Hofburg. This palace contains several museums, and we're going to start with one dedicated to Elizabeth, the wife of Emperor Joseph I. Sisi, as her family called her, it reminded me a lot of Lady Diana. She struggled all of her life to stay fit and beautiful. Not very popular when she was alive, she became an icon after her death. As a kid, she was free from any formal constraints until she was wedded to Joseph I at a young age. The royal wedding that probably any woman dreamt of was happy at first, but when kids arrived, problems arose. Sisi loved and was very good at horse riding. She plunged into deep depression when her son Rudolf killed himself. Since then, she was dressed all in black. Empress Elizabeth was a fanatic of traveling and discovering cultures, for instance the Greek one. Her life ended drastically. She was assassinated on September 10, 1898 in Geneva, Switzerland. At the end of this museum, visitors can tour the opulent imperial apartments. Joseph I woke up really early to care for the people of his big empire. His day always started with a prayer, as Habsburgs are devoted Catholics. Here, Sisi brushed her hair for hours while learning modern and Old Greek. She also practiced gymnastics to keep herself thin. These rooms with their furniture feel closer to our generation. The Hofburg is a blend of various architectural styles, including Gothic, Renaissance, Baroque, and Rococo, reflecting its long history and the changing taste of its occupants. Overall, the Hofburg is a must-see for anyone visiting Vienna. In the Volksgarten, in front of the palace, you can find a building inspired by the Greek temples. Before going any further, we must get back to the palace to visit one important part. The National Library is one of the most prestigious libraries in Europe. With the history dating back to the 15th century, it boasts over 6.5 million volumes, including rare books, incunabula, and manuscripts from the Middle Ages. Built in Baroque style, it blew my mind away, especially because I'm a big fan of books and reading. After all this touring, you have to take a rest in the splendid Burggarten. Here, a monument is erected in the honor of the classical music virtuoso Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Speaking of him, come, let's visit his apartment. Young Mozart left Salzburg with his father and sister chasing fame. Can you imagine that he played for Maria Theresa when he was only 14 years old? He later lived inside this building from 1784 to 1787. It was here that he composed some of his most famous works, including The Marriage of Figaro and Don Giovanni. After Mozart's death, the house was used for various purposes before being converted into a museum in 1906, yet no authentic furniture were preserved. A pity. This square was laid out in the 19th century. It owes its name to Empress Maria Theresa of Austria, whose equestrian statue stands in the center of the square. To stay in the mood of music, we headed to visit the Vienna State Opera. Built in 1861 and 1869 in a neo-Renaissance style, it was designed by architects Edouard van der Nul and August Sigar von Sigarsberg, who were inspired by Paris Opera House. The Vienna Opera has hosted performances by many renowned composers throughout its history, and their busts are presented in here in this room. The Vienna State Opera was severely damaged during World War II, but it was carefully restored and reopened in 1955. A visit to Vienna would be missing a touch if you don't attend a classical music concert. Therefore, we headed to the place that hosted these kinds of events. This domed church, dedicated to St. Charles Borromeo, is considered one of the finest examples of 18th century Baroque architecture in Central Europe. The construction of Karlskirche was decided by Emperor Charles VI in 1716 in gratitude for the end of the plague epidemic. Construction, however, lasted several decades and was completed in 1739. On the rooftop, you'd get a glimpse of the city skyline. We entered this place discreetly, not knowing that it was closed to the public that day, and that was a true hidden gem. The building is adorned with intricate sculptures and frescoes, and its interior is a masterpiece of theater architecture. The Berg Theater is another proof of Vienna's rich cultural heritage. Just across the street, you'll find the City Hall. A film festival was held and cuisines from all over the world were presented. We had to come back at night. This is a stunning Neo-Gothic church, which was built in the mid-19th century to commemorate the failed assassination attempt on Emperor Franz Joseph I. The building is made of white sandstone and features two tall spires, intricate stained glass windows, and ornate carvings. This building clearly took all of my attention. This magnificent Neo-Gothic building is the seat of the Austrian parliament and one of the most iconic landmarks in the city. Another monument I long to see is the Athena fountain. It was created by the Austrian sculptor Johannes Benck and was unveiled in 1904. This statue is a symbol of the Austrian Empire and its connection to ancient Greece. Athena is associated with wisdom, justice, and the arts. Golden Nike in her hand is a symbol of democracy, superiority. The construction of the building is a part of a bigger plan to widen the city's border after removing the defensive walls. This beautiful Baroque church is located in front of the CC Museum. This church was built in the 12th century on the site of a Roman temple. The Furniture Museum is the third museum you can visit using the CC combined ticket. This is a fascinating destination for those interested in the history of furniture design and craftsmanship. Located in a former Habsburg warehouse, the museum showcases a wide range of pieces from 3 centuries, providing a glimpse into the evolution of furniture styles and techniques. The museum boasts a diverse collection of furniture, including pieces from the Baroque, Rococo, Biedermeier, and Art Nouveau periods. The Imperial family had an opulent lifestyle. Back in the days, only the Hofburg was furnished all year long. For the other palaces, furniture was transported whenever the family moved there. This crib held Rudolf, the heir to the throne. And on this bed he committed suicide with his mistress. You cannot mention Vienna without talking of the renowned Danube River. The Danube is the second longest river in Europe after the Volga. It flows through or along 10 European countries: Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Moldova, and Ukraine. It rises in the Black Forest in Germany and flows into the Black Sea, forming a vast delta. The Danube is an important river historically and culturally. And it has played a crucial role in the development of Central and Eastern Europe. You might think that I forgot about the Viennese cuisine, but I kept it for last. Nash Market offers a wide variety of products, including fresh fruits, vegetables, meats and cheeses, spices and herbs, as well as cooked dishes. The market is also known for its many food stalls, which offers dishes from all cultures of the world. Vienna is famous for its coffee houses. We visited two important ones, which are the Cafe Museum and Sacher, which is very famous for the chocolate cake. Chocolate isn't the first thing it comes to mind when I think of Vienna, but we were very surprised. Almost everyone is a fan of schnitzel, and here we had the authentic one. We said goodbye to one fascinating European city by having a chilled spritzer. I hope you liked this video, and until next time,